Adrian's booth on Zenith Station sold Earth curiosities to aliens who found human culture fascinating. His favorite customer was Talys, a Lyren woman with elegant swept-back ears who visited weekly to discuss Earth customs and trade negotiations. She was polite, reserved, and never bought anything, but Adrian enjoyed their conversations. She treated his modest booth as a refuge from whatever administrative work she did with the Lyren delegation. One day, Talys arrived looking exhausted, her usual composure frayed. When Adrian asked if she was all right, she admitted the endless political negotiations were wearing her down, making her question if any of it was worth the effort. Adrian understood that feeling. He ducked beneath his counter and retrieved a small wooden cherry blossom he'd carved during a slow day. Nothing fancy, just earthwood shaped into something delicate and beautiful. "Here," he said, offering it to her. "For getting through tough days, everyone deserves something beautiful that's just theirs." Talys went absolutely still. Every Lyren in the trading hall stopped moving and turned to stare. An elderly Lyren woman approached with a ceremonial scanner, waved it over the flower, and the device chimed clearly. "The consort's claim is confirmed," she announced. "By the gift of crafted beauty, given in sincerity without expectation, witnessed by the people, the bond is invoked." Adrian had no idea what that meant, but the security forces now converging on his booth suggested it wasn't good. Within an hour, human diplomats informed him that Talys wasn't just an administrator, she was Crown Judicator, one of the 5 most powerful leaders in Lyran civilization. His carved flower met 3 criteria that constituted a formal marriage proposal in Lyran culture. Handcrafted, given with pure intent, beautiful without practical purpose. "So I accidentally proposed to alien royalty with a wooden flower?" Adrian asked. "Essentially, yes," Ambassador Tanaka confirmed. "If she accepts, you become her consort. If she rejects it, she insults both you and the foundation of Lyran tradition. Either way, this is now a diplomatic incident." Adrian stared at his hands, calloused from carving, completely unprepared for this. 5 years of quiet trading, deliberately avoiding complications, and he'd upended everything with a simple act of kindness. For 3 days, Adrian was confined to diplomatic quarters while officials debated his fate. Talys faced her own crisis with the High Council. She was already contracted to a political marriage with Council member Kelron, an arrangement meant to unite powerful factions. Breaking it to bond with a human merchant would cause political upheaval. But rejecting Adrian's claim would violate core Lyran cultural values about respecting sincere craftsmanship. On the 4th day, Adrian finally met with Talys in a meditation garden, privacy screens ensuring they could speak freely. She wore formal robes instead of her usual simple clothing, looking more distant than the woman who'd visited his booth. "I should have told you who I was," Talys said quietly. "But your booth was the only place I could be something other than Crown Judicator. You treated me like a person, not a position." "I still would have if I'd known," Adrian replied. "Though I probably wouldn't have given you that flower so casually. I would have worried about implications, about what it meant. Which means I would have missed the whole point, wouldn't I?" "Yes," Talys pulled out the wooden flower, still carrying it. "The High Council found a compromise. I accept your claim but delay formal bonding for 2 years. We'd be betrothed, which honors tradition without immediate political disruption. After 2 years, we formalize the bond, or you release me with honor satisfied." That sounds like making everyone uncomfortable for 2 years. "It is exactly that." She finally met his eyes. "When you gave me this flower, before I understood what it meant, my first thought was that someone had noticed I was tired and cared enough to do something about it. It was precious. Then tradition and politics overwhelmed that feeling." "Do you want to accept the claim?" Adrian asked directly, not politically, personally. Talys's ears drooped, distress, uncertainty. "I've been Crown Judicator so long, I don't know if I remember how to want things for myself rather than for political benefit." Then maybe we both need to figure that out, Adrian suggested. Together, if you're willing. They agreed to the betrothal, giving themselves time to discover if something real could grow from an accidental beginning. The betrothal was formalized, and political fallout followed immediately. Adrian received station quarters and a stipend while Talys continued her duties. Kelron and his allies resented the change. Some Lyren nobles viewed Adrian as unwanted contamination, and media across species treated it as entertainment. But amid the chaos, Adrian and Talys began actually spending time together. She taught him Lyren meditation and legal philosophy. He taught her woodcarving and shared earth customs. They discovered shared frustrations with being defined by others' expectations and slowly built genuine connection. 6 months into the betrothal, an assassination attempt targeted Adrian in a market, a concealed explosive meant to look like extremist violence. Talys' security intercepted it, but investigation revealed the attack was orchestrated by radicals in Kelron's faction, who believed Adrian's death would restore proper order. The attempt forced them to confront what their betrothal represented beyond personal choice. It had become a proxy battle for Lyren cultural identity, for whether traditions could evolve or must remain fixed. That evening, Adrian asked Talys directly, "If I released you from the claim right now, would you go back to the arranged bond?" "Politically, it would be wise," she admitted. "Practically, it would solve problems." "That's not what I asked." She was quiet for a long moment. "No, I would not. Because in 6 months, you've given me something I haven't had in decades, permission to want things for myself. You carved me a flower because you thought I needed something beautiful. No agenda, no calculation, just kindness. And I don't want to return to a life where that's impossible." At the 1-year mark, Talys made an unprecedented decision. She invoked an ancient provision allowing early formalization if both parties formally declared genuine partnership rather than political arrangement. It forced the High Council to publicly acknowledge the bond's authenticity. The formalization ceremony combined Lyren ritual and human tradition, attended by representatives from dozens of species. Adrian presented Talys with a carved double helix representing both their peoples. She offered him a traditional Lyren crystal signifying shared authority. Despite final legal challenges from Kelron's faction, the ceremony proceeded. Talys had structured everything perfectly within traditional frameworks. When it was done, Adrian held the title of Crown Consort, a position with significant authority and absolutely no instruction manual. Political implications rippled outward. Lyren houses scrambled to adjust alliances. Human-Lyren relations shifted. Cultural scholars analyzed what this meant for interspecies partnerships. But in the quiet after the ceremony, standing in quarters that were now officially theirs, Adrian and Talys discovered something simpler. They'd built something real from an accidental beginning. "A year ago, my biggest concern was inventory management," Adrian said, examining his formal crown consort robes. "Now I'm responsible for diplomatic functions and providing counsel to the High Council. It terrifies me." "Does that make you regret it?" Talys asked. "No, I'm learning the best things happen when you're terrified and do them anyway." He produced a small carved box from his pocket, a new gift he'd made over months. Inside was a pendant, 2 figures, human and Lyren, carved in intricate detail, standing together. "For getting through tough days. Everyone deserves something beautiful that's just theirs." Talys took the pendant with hands that didn't tremble this time, her ears forward in unmistakable joy. "You're going to keep making me things, aren't you?" "Probably. Making things is kind of my nature." "Then I'll keep accepting them, because every time you do, you remind me why I chose this. Why I chose you." 6 months later, Adrian maintained a modified trading booth, now called Crown Consort's Curiosities, while Talys continued as Crown Judicator with Adrian providing counsel, unburdened by political calculation. Their partnership had become a symbol across species, proof that binding commitments can begin with simple gestures of kindness. In their shared quarters, a collection of hand-carved pieces grew steadily, each one a gift given without expectation, each one precious not for monetary value but for what it represented. Choosing connection over convenience, authenticity over political calculation, and building something real from an accidental beginning. Adrian never intended to marry alien nobility with a carved flower, but he discovered that the best partnerships often start with someone simply noticing another person is tired and caring enough to offer them something beautiful without asking for anything in return.